Burundi, a small nation in East Africa, is gripped by poverty, prolonged conflict, and a rapidly growing population. Over 87% of its people live on less than $1.90 a day, while land, clean water, and food are becoming increasingly scarce. This video will take you inside the deep-rooted causes behind Burundi's ongoing crisis and the efforts being made to bring hope to its future. Number 1. Most of the population lives in poverty. Burundi, a small nation in East Africa, is facing a multitude of challenges that have made it one of the poorest countries in the world. With a population of over 13 million, an estimated 87% of people live on less than $1.90 a day. The country's gross national income, GNI, per capita is the lowest globally, standing at just around $840. The Bandi Social Safety Nets program has made strides in supporting those in need, offering financial aid and guidance. However, the battle against poverty in Burundi remains extremely difficult, rooted in a complex history of prolonged political instability, rapid population growth, food insecurity, and the unhealed wounds of a turbulent past. The people of Burundi are in urgent need of long-term and sustainable solutions to transform their lives. Number 2. Political instability has left a deep mark. Burundi gained independence from Belgium in 1962, but the legacy of colonialism remains difficult to overcome. Since then, the country has endured near constant violence, with power struggles claiming the lives of hundreds of thousands. Ethnic tensions between the Tutsi and Hutu populations continue to pose a serious challenge. While politically motivated killings have decreased, such incidents were still documented as recently as 2022. This ethnic conflict has not only caused massive loss of life, but also displaced countless people, becoming one of the most significant drivers of widespread poverty throughout Burundi. Number 3. Burundi's population is rapidly exploding. Burundi is facing a critical challenge, a population that is growing at an unsustainable pace. As a small, landlocked nation, the country is under immense pressure from dwindling natural resources. Soil degradation, widespread deforestation, and water scarcity are worsening year by year. At the same time, Burundi has one of the highest birth rates in the world, averaging 5 children per woman. This explosive population growth has pushed demand for food, land, employment, and basic services such as education and healthcare far beyond what the country can provide. Even more concerning is the nation's average age, just 16 years old. This means Burundi has a very young population, with millions of teenagers entering the workforce in a fragile economy with limited job opportunities. As competition for scarce resources intensifies, so do the risks of deeper poverty, social unrest, and potential violence. Without bold, long-term policies to improve education, create jobs, and promote sustainable development, Burundi may find it impossible to escape the vicious cycle of poverty and conflict. Number 4. Widespread food insecurity. According to CIA estimates, around 90% of Burundi's population relies on subsistence farming to survive. But with its small size and landlocked geography, the country is facing a major crisis of land degradation, especially as the population continues to grow rapidly. Arable land is becoming increasingly scarce, causing agricultural yields to drop significantly and directly threatening food security for millions. To address this growing challenge, UNICEF launched the Creatable Project, an innovative education initiative aimed at students. The project teaches young learners how to grow vegetables in bags instead of planting directly in the soil, saving space and preserving arable land. This creative approach has already shown promising results and is hoped to improve food security in some of Burundi's most vulnerable communities. Number 5. Burundi, a war-torn nation. Poverty in Burundi has been deeply shaped by cycles of civil war that have left hundreds of thousands dead. Decades-long ethnic conflict between the Hutu and Tutsi populations reached a deadly peak in the 1990s. At the same time, a brutal genocide was unfolding in Rwanda, Burundi's northern neighbor, scarring both nations. In 1994, during ongoing peace talks, the presidents of both Burundi and Rwanda, Both Hutu were assassinated. Their deaths sparked a wave of retaliation by Hutu factions, plunging the region into further chaos. The conflict raged on until 2006, when Burundi's civil war finally came to an end. Number 6. Economic outlook. Burundi's prolonged conflicts have severely damaged its economy, especially agriculture, which makes up 90% of the country's gross domestic product. Agriculture is not only the backbone of Burundi's economy, but also the main source of income for over 80% of the population. This dependence makes the country extremely vulnerable to natural disasters. Burundi frequently suffers from floods and droughts, either of which can devastate crops and livelihoods, plunging millions deeper into poverty. Adding to these domestic challenges are global pressures. The war in Ukraine, though far from East Africa, has disrupted international supply chains and caused prices of essential goods to skyrocket. Burundi, like many low-income nations, is deeply affected. The cost of grain, fertilizer, and fuel, all crucial for agriculture and transport, has surged, worsening food insecurity and increasing hardship for the country's most vulnerable. Number 7. Adolescent life, malnutrition and war. Childhood in Burundi is marked by hardship. Nearly 60% of children suffer from malnutrition, with 1 in 2 under the age of 5 chronically undernourished. This boy probably hasn't had a piece of meat in a long time. You can see how much he's enjoying it. Some children are even forced into armed conflict, recruited as child soldiers by warring rebel groups. These harsh conditions have a devastating impact, not only on children's health, but also on their access to education. While schooling in Burundi is officially free from grades 1 to 9, one major requirement stands in the way: a birth certificate. Unfortunately, 62% of children do not have one, making them ineligible for free education and healthcare. To address this, the organization Humanity and Inclusion has stepped in. Since 1992, it has helped nearly 10,000 children gain access to schooling. The NGO also provides vocational training and works to raise awareness about preventing violence against children across Burundi. Number 8. Development and foreign investment. Efforts to fight corruption and improve the investment climate. Corruption remains a widespread issue in Burundi, but President Evariste Ndayishimiye has taken notable steps to address it. He has hosted numerous international leaders in an effort to promote development and attract foreign investment into the country. Although reforms to improve governance and upskill the workforce are still in progress, domestic investment in infrastructure is seen as a critical move to lure global investors. However, poverty remains deeply entrenched in Burundi, reflected in its ranking on the Human Development Index, 187th out of 191 countries. While the government is making efforts to shift the country's trajectory, major challenges remain. Weak governance and a low-skilled labor force must be overcome if Burundi hopes to break the cycle of poverty and build a more prosperous future. Fighting poverty in Burundi is an uphill battle that demands patience and a long-term vision. After decades of turmoil, real efforts are now underway, both domestically and internationally, to repair the damage that has been done. Children are the ones who suffer most under harsh conditions like extreme poverty. Food insecurity remains a critical challenge as the population continues to grow rapidly. Yet sustainable farming methods are being taught and adopted. The opportunity for meaningful change is within reach if Burundi's leaders can learn from the country's troubled past. Thank you for watching. We hope this video gave you a clearer view of the challenges and hopes in Burundi. Your attention is the first step toward change. See you in the next video.